Andrew, great to see you as always, a familiar face to many here, and great to have you back.
It's great to be back. It's always great to get here to Hong Kong, and especially this week. It's such competitive racing. Really looking forward to what comes up on Sunday.
Satono Rave and Tastiere about to exit stage right there down the track. They've done their work. The Japanese have looked impressive this week.
They have. I mean, they so often do, and we get to see them in their fast work. We really just see them go up to another level, and we saw a lot of them do their fast work yesterday. But good to see these two here under the watchful eye of Noriyuki Hori. It's great to see him here. Obviously, he's had such success here in Hong Kong in the past with the likes of Morris. But these two look fantastic. We saw what Satono Rev can do in December. Hopefully he's the horse chasing home Kaing Rising, hoping he doesn't win, but hoping he might be chasing home. And Tastiere, he ran such a great race in December as well, and really excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, and I mean, they're joined by, or far from it, for me to call them a supporting cast, but the likes of Liberty Island, Prognosis, I mean, Prognosis, surely it's third time lucky for him, isn't it?
You hope so. I was talking to Charlotte Mills from Moonee Valley this morning, and we were talking about the one time that he jumped away from the gates was probably the one time you didn't want him to jump away. It was in that Cox Plate last year where they went at a relentless tempo. I'm hoping that James McDonald can just get him out of the gates, get him into a handy position, but I think you'll know your fate there at the start. But hopefully this is the time when he can finally get that win, because he really deserves it.
Do you know a horse I think looks good, Andrew, this week? And I know he gets a little bit warm and sweaty, but we won't begrudge him that here with the temperatures we're treated to. But I thought Daniel McKinley looked really well.
He did, and to be fair, he looked well in Dubai as well. Saw him over there. He ran a really good race for fourth in that Alcoz sprint. He was a horse that I had a lot of time for as a youngster. I thought he was going to get over further, but trying him as a sprinter seems to really have helped him out here. And look, if he gets the speed on, which he potentially could do, I could see him really running home nicely and hopefully performing well for Japan. It'd be great to see a Japanese sprinter do well here.
Absolutely, of course, yeah. They have had success down through the years, of course, none more so than Lord Canelo. Okay, that's a Japanese angle. Let's just shelve that for a moment. Antipodeans, well represented this year.
It's so good, isn't it, to see the Australians back? The New Zealand angle here through El Vencedor. I was doing going back through the history last night, and it was Sir Slick was the last runner for New Zealand in the QE2 Cup. You're going back 16, 17 years. So it's just great to see Stephen Marsh here with El Vencedor, and he's coming here in great form. We'll get to see him on the turf in a few moments, and as you say, the Australians as well.
Yeah, vitally important gallop, I think, for El Vencedor here this morning. Zach Purton will be on board. Royal patronage for Gay Wardhouse and Adrian Bott. I believe Adrian's here, and ex-UK trained horse, but a handy horse nevertheless. Tell us a bit more about him.
Well, he is a handy horse. I must admit, I backed him when he ran in Epsom in the Derby, and who would have thought he'd be here in Hong Kong a couple of years later? And he's gone via the US, via Australia, obviously. He's really found form in Australia. I didn't expect that he could win a Canterbury Stakes, which is a 1,300-metre race, but a race that brings together a lot of these really good horses. And then obviously he's run well at his last couple in the George Ryder and the Doncaster Mile. So they're the right form lines. He'll go forward. Look, he'll be in the race for a long way.
We've got El Vencedor on screen here, so we'll get to his gallop obviously very shortly. It's an important one, but Mr. Brightside, just finally on him. I mean, he really is the pin-up boy of Aussie racing, isn't he?
He is. He's been racing for years now, and just keeps finding these races where he's able to get out and just manage to build such an incredible record. I mean, who can forget that he almost beat Romantic Warrior in that Cox Plate going back 18 months ago? And a mile is his sweet spot. I'm sure they'll be hoping for a little bit of rain, but as we all know, Sha Tin, it's only if it rains during the meeting that it's really going to be wet, otherwise it'll be a firm track. So, look, that's a little bit of a query, but it'd be so good to see Mr. Brightside perform here, and what an incredible story for the Hayes boys who grew up here at Sha Tin to potentially have a winner.
Absolutely, of course, and father training Kaing Rising. Is he the horse you're most looking forward to?
Oh, look, I think Kaing Rising has to be the horse everyone's most looking forward to. I think from an Australian angle, we hope to see him in Sydney for the Everest, potentially go on to Melbourne after that before coming back for the Hong Kong Sprint. But look, there are so many great horses. I mean, we haven't even talked about a horse like Goliath. So good to see a horse of his calibre here. And we saw in Japan when he went there just the attention that he received. So, look, it's an exciting meeting, and I can't wait to see how these races unfold.